This looks so good. Look at the caramelized onions on top. Like, hey my minkies, today we will be doing smothered pork chops in gravy. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a good meal. So first off, we're gonna wash off our meat. However way you wash your meat, wash your meat first. Okay. Get all that stuff off of the meat. And I got one of these bowls that the water drains through, so it's not like it just sits in there. So we just rinsing it off, washing it off, whatever, however you want to say that. Just kind of wash that off thoroughly. Make sure you're getting all the meat. If you cut off all the fat, cut off all the fat. But on this one, we're not going to be doing that. So we're just washing the meat here. Okay. Now, after you thoroughly wash your meat, let that water drain. I got a bowl that drains, so I ain't gotta worry about that. Alright, make sure all the excess water is out of there. And we're gonna go ahead and season our meat, guys. Alright. Wash our hands to touch the seasoning. The containers, because you don't want to contaminate the seasoning, guys. So you're gonna wash your hands before touching the seasoning. And I'm gonna go ahead and season our pork chops however way you want to season. This is Creole seasoning, guys, so you can add whichever Creole seasoning you would like. I got Cajun booze. I got honey garlic, guys. So we're gonna put honey garlic in there. And these are the seasonings right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Honey garlic. Now we're gonna put garlic powder in here. And I like to heavily season my my meat, guys. This is the cayenne pepper. If you choose to put cayenne pepper, it's up to you. I'm not gonna put too much. Yeah. Blackened seasoning. I'm gonna add that in there. We're gonna add some onion powder. See if you guys can see that. Excuse my fingers, guys. Some parsley flakes. And just put it in there. Also, some black pepper. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is the black pepper. Hold on. It's the black pepper. I got the camera at an angle, guys, so that's why you barely see it. Okay, so we got our seasoning. We're only doing one session of seasoning, guys. One session. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this together. Mix, mix, mix. Now, I decided instead of doing rice with this, we're gonna do turmeric cauliflower rice, which I will be doing in another video. So if you want to check that video out, stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel, guys, if you haven't already. Please like this video if you are enjoying so far. But with these smothered pork chops, we will be having cauliflower, well, turmeric cauliflower rice, guys. And also on the side is gonna be some string beans. Okay, so we got this all seasoned up. There we go. Let's see. And now it's time to put it in a pot, baby. Okay guys, so you're going to place a little bit, maybe about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in your pot, or whatever you use, olive oil, whatever, and you kind of like make sure that goes all around the pot as much as you can. Even if you can't, it's okay. Let's try to get this a little bit closer so y'all can see. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and heat our stove. So I put it on like medium low, guys, so it can heat up. So let that heat up and we will be back. Okay, we're gonna get started. Go ahead and put our pork chops in here. Make sure that they're laid out correctly so they can brown the way they're supposed to brown. Okay, and you just let that brown. I'm gonna let that cook, guys. How is your day going? My day is going very well, guys. Very well. I love me some smothered pork chops, and I will be putting some onions with this. Onions, bell peppers, and green onions. I will be cutting some up in here. So we just let that cook, kind of brown a little bit. So what team are you guys going for? Who's gonna be playing this week? I'm going for New Orleans, guys. New Orleans Saints. Like this video if you are enjoying so far, guys. This recipe I decided to share with you guys because I know everyone tries to get like a recipe for at least maybe 2 or 3 recipes for the week for their family, if not probably the whole full week. But this is a simple meal, so it doesn't cost that much to make this meal, guys. This is a very affordable meal. Pork chops is not the price as ground meat is. I think I had got these for around $7, and it came with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, about 6 pork chops. So that's not bad, including the turmeric cauliflower rice, and I already got the turmeric powder, so all I needed was the cauliflower rice, and you need some butter, which I already have that. And you know, butter, it does not cost that much, guys. So for the cauliflower rice, it didn't cost that much, and then you know, for the beans in the can, it doesn't cost that much to do that, guys. So this was a very, very affordable meal. I will give you the price. It's gonna be on the screen. So simple for a family meal, guys. So affordable and simple. We're gonna be back. Okay, so we need to flip these just to make sure they're not burning. Let's see. You don't want them sticking to the pot. So go ahead and flip them. Guys, do you like fried pork chops better or smothered pork chops better? That is the big question. Now, notice I never mentioned baked pork chops because I barely see anyone do baked pork chops. I mainly see everybody either doing smothered pork chops or fried pork chops, and baked pork chops is so much more healthier than fried pork chops and smothered pork chops. But if I had the choice to choose between fried and smothered, guys, I would choose fried. I love fried pork chops. I just can't get enough of it. But you know, pork is not really too good for you guys. You know, not a lot of people eat pork, but when I do eat pork, I rather a good fresh fried pork chop. Yes, guys. How do you fry your pork chops? If you have ever fried pork chops, how do you fry your pork chops? How do you batter it? The way I batter mines is, we're gonna let this cook down, guys. Let this cook, well, brown, in other words. And you see all that water at the bottom? That's all gonna go. As it's cooking, it's all gonna go. So don't worry about that, guys. So we're gonna let that cook down, but I didn't already forgot what we was just talking. Okay. How do I fry my pork chops? I fry my pork chops in I put like some milk. Now you could put buttermilk or regular milk in a bowl and put like an egg or two in the bowl and kind of mix that in there, season your milk batter, and then you got the other batter, the flour batter, which you use all-purpose flour, and you season the flour, or you can use whatever batter you choose, but that's the way I choose to do it. And I choose to put the pork chop, place the pork chop in the wet batter, then in the dry batter, then in the wet batter, and we go like that into the dry batter. So I might end up frying some pork chops one day for you guys. It's either way you can do it, depending on how much crust you want on your pork chop, guys. Your fried pork chop, that determines how much batter you put on it. Sometimes I like it lightly crusted, you know what I'm saying? If y'all eat fried pork chops, y'all know what I'm saying. If you don't, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and flip them, guys. But that's what I like. What do you guys, this is the weekend, what do you guys do on the weekends? I'm all over the place this weekend. My son has a choir performance, guys, and it's like a show, like a fall show, and I cannot wait to go back and see it. I already have seen it already, and I want to go back and see it again. Guys, you should have seen him. He did amazing along with the other students. They did amazing for this fall show. I was so excited to see him. I couldn't wait to record him. Let's go ahead and turn, guys. I couldn't wait to record him, guys, because he's a senior now, and to see him in this light is almost like seeing him whenever he was, you know, like 5 years old, or 6 years old, when he was in his younger days and he was doing all these little school activities, and I couldn't wait to watch him. So it's like so refreshing to see that, guys, because my baby is going to be graduating from high school this year. So I was so excited to see it. Do y'all have any graduates or any kids that's about to graduate from high school? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Speak to me. Let me know. How old is your kids, guys? I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. He's doing an amazing job in school, so I don't have to worry about him with that. I'm just so proud overall, guys. I really, really love my son. Ooh, it's already forming like this little gravy at the bottom, but we're gonna just let that cook down, and I'll be back, guys. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cut our onions. We're not cutting them in small pieces. We're gonna cut them like this, because I want them in the pot like this. This is how I want them, in pieces like this. Let's see if you guys can see that. Yes, I want it like that. I'm not gonna cut it in small pieces. So we're just gonna cut that up. You can cut however way you want to, guys. It's totally up to you. But that's how I want my onions with my pork chops. Sorry for the loud noise. Y'all hear them pork chops? Guys, they starting to brown. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's get to the pork chops right quick. So our pork chops is brown enough, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and flip that. Oops, breaking apart. Okay. Just go ahead and let that brown on that side. Turn my fire down just a little bit, so because I wanted that water that was sitting at the bottom, like it was starting to turn into gravy. I wanted to make sure it was out, guys, because your meat is not gonna brown like that if there's water sitting at the bottom. But now you can see clearly there's no water sitting at the bottom, so it's browning. Let's see. So that's brown enough for me. We're gonna go ahead and place that back into the bowl and put the other pork chops in so they can brown. Put that in there, right? Take these out. Place these in here and let that brown, guys. Same way you let the other ones brown, but these are gonna brown way more quicker because of course the water is out now. Turn that over because you don't want it to brown too fast. Okay. Make sure that is laid out perfectly. Sorry for the pot moving. Okay, not sure why this is like that. Got a little pocket right here. Make sure they cook thoroughly if you have a pork chop like this. Let's turn it over, guys, because it's browning very quickly. Ooh, I know y'all can't wait to see how this comes out. I surely cannot wait to see how this comes out. Now, I want to start browning my onions, so we're going to get back to cutting these onions while these brown. Okay, so go ahead and, this is my second onion. I'm going to go ahead and cut it the same way I did the other onion, because we're going to go ahead and throw that in with our pork chops as they are browning, because I want my onions to be caramelized, guys. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Flip. It's time to flip your pork chop because it's really brown enough. Throw those onions in here so they can caramelize. And you know, onions will make a little bit of water, guys, so I'm glad that the pork chops is kind of brown already, so I wouldn't have to worry about it not browning. So just let that kind of cook down in there, and we will be back. Remove these pork chops so the onions can caramelize, guys. You don't want your pork chops to you don't want them to burn. So I want to take them out, and we're gonna go ahead and let these onions cook down. Okay, wash your bell pepper, guys. I washed my onions already and cut them up, but we're gonna wash our bell peppers and start cutting them. This is how I cut mine. It's so much easier to cut it like this, guys. And you're gonna go ahead, and I saved the seeds, I cooked the seeds too. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that up. Now I'm gonna cut my bell peppers small cuts, small pieces. And they don't have to be perfect, guys, because they're gonna cook down anyways. You want to keep an eye on your onions. You don't want them to burn. But I like mine very charred a little bit. I like it a little burnt. A little, not a lot. So that means browned. I like them really browned a little bit. Go ahead and cut the rest of that up. And like I said, your bell peppers do not have to be perfect. Alright, we're going to go ahead and place that in our pot. Go ahead and stir your onions. Get my spoon. You might want to hold a pot. Stir your onions. See how they're starting to brown, guys? That's exactly how I want them to be. And I want to add my bell peppers in here. Okay. And I got my green onions. I still got to cut, but we're going to go ahead and mix that in there. And let that cook down. Go ahead and wash your green onions, and we're going to go ahead and cut that up into small pieces. We're going to add that to our pot as well. Make sure you don't cut yourself. Be careful. Okay. And just keep cutting. I don't want to cut anymore, so this is good enough for me. And I don't like these little dead skins. I don't know if y'all can see that. Shoot, I'm out of the... There you go. Wait. Y'all, that right there. I don't know if it's going to focus or not, but I don't like that. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our pot. Alright guys, add your green onions in here. And let that cook in there. Mix it. Let it brown. We're going to let that brown in there and we will be back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add our gravy to this. I have gravy mixed with, I put some water and 2 cups. I put 2 cups of water and I added about 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and also like maybe a tablespoon, no, 2 tablespoons of kitchen bouquet, guys. And I just mixed that all together and I put that in here, and I'm just gonna add some more water after this. Just add some water until it's covered. We're gonna add our pork chops in here. Add your pork chops in here. And just cover that. Alright, let's mix that together, guys. Maybe 1 more cup. That should be good. Now, your recipe may call for different servings. You know, depending on the serving size, it may be different for you. But this is how I did it for the amount of pork chops I had. So you want to mix that up so you can get them onions all over in there. so they just don't sit at the bottom, guys. And your fire is still on, mind you. We're gonna kick it up just slightly a little bit. It's on 6 right now, so that's like a little medium low. So we're gonna kick it up to about 7, guys. Okay, and we're gonna let that cook down, and we will be back. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic in here, so just kind of mix that up. Mix that up in there. There you go, guys. And let that cook down. All right, you want to mix that up. Make sure that you kind of flipping these pork chops because they are cooking, baby. Okay. See how I like my onions, guys? I love my onions like this. So I'm gonna let that cook down, and we'll be back. Okay, guys, it's still cooking right now, but you just want to keep stirring it every now and then just to make sure that every single piece of meat in here gets cooked thoroughly. And we're gonna let that continue to cook. It depends on how much you're cooking, on how long it takes. So keep that in mind, guys. It depends on how much you cook. This is coming out so good, guys. We will be back. Okay, guys, we're gonna season it one more time because it's not gonna be too much longer before it is done. So we're gonna go ahead and put our seasoning. Season it however way you would like. If you want to just add just salt, or if you don't want to add no more seasoning at all, that is quite okay. But I like to add just a tad bit more seasoning to give it some extra flavor there. I think that's about it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and stir that. This looks so good. Guys, look at that. Ooh, and my meat is breaking up. That's how you know it's so tender. It's very tender. Can y'all see that? Okay. I'm gonna keep on stirring that. And just let that cook down from here, guys. And I'll be back whenever it's done. The smothered pork chops are done. I'm gonna plate it with the turmeric cauliflower rice and the string beans so you guys can see how it looks on the plate. And also we will do a taste test. Smothered pork chop with turmeric cauliflower rice and string beans. This looks so good. Look at the caramelized onions on top. Like, oh my goodness. This looks so good, guys. Let me get y'all a closer look at this. Look at that. Look at that smothered pork chop, guys. It looks so good. The gravy is thick as well. So good. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and taste it. Give me 1 second. Let me get a good piece for y'all, because I want a good piece of pork chop, smothered pork chop. Look at that, guys. Ooh. Gotta get me a thumbnail. All right. so tender. The flavors, everything is so good, guys. Y'all gotta make this mother pork chop. This is so good. And that gravy, oh my gosh. That I can't wait to eat. With this turmeric cauliflower rice, y'all, I'm gonna be posting that recipe. I'm gonna be posting that recipe for that, for both the smothered pork chops and the turmeric cauliflower rice. Both of them put together. Hold on, let me show y'all right quick with the cauliflower rice and the gravy. Oh. Tastes so good. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this video, guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you guys are notified each time I post a new video. Comment down below, what did you like best about this video? Have you ever tried smothered pork chops? Are you planning on trying smothered pork chops? What recipe you would like for me to try next? If I can do it, I will, guys. Don't forget to share for the world to see. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye, my minkies.